Well, there's another angle a lot of people aren't looking at because I know they're saying that there's actually a glut of oil right now, and that's why the price of oil is going down. It actually has to do with maybe either, well, one of two reasons. Either they're trying to isolate and bring down Vladimir Putin, or it's price war between Saudi and the U.S. oil industry, or maybe a combination thereof. But I also want to state this. In Europe, there's one country that really is not dependent upon Russian oil, and that is France. France. They got 75% of their electricity comes from the nuclear option. And, they're getting a lot of their oil from Libya, too. That's what the total CEO was doing. He was, the one that was killed in the Russian airport with the snowplow. But they're just bringing a lot of that online right now. So they're fairly energy independent. But I'll tell you this. Actually, with all the deal everybody's talking about, Fukushima and everything, Japan closed down all of its nuclear reactors after Fukushima, and you're hearing all this stuff in the alternative media, the radiation's killing the fish, it's doing this, it's doing that. Well, actually, Japan is since they closed down all those reactors, they're actually bringing them back online now because they're getting raked over the coals by high energy prices. They're getting charged way more for liquefied natural gas than they are in the U.S. I mean, several times more, literally. And they got a stagnant economy. And actually, if you want to bring down the economy on a country, what goes on is you just jack up those oil prices. So the oil prices went down globally, along with silver, gold, and a lot of other things, and other commodities. Including copper and aluminum, the whole deal. Everything's down, right? Now, what is not really obvious to a lot of people is not that many people that actually control the physical stockpiles of these metals in storage. And a lot of it is through like the big investment trading houses like Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan. But I'm going to tell you this. Since Japan, Japan's bringing back online these nuclear facilities again, but since they took them offline, there's actually a shortage of oil in the world. And Germany's also done the same thing. See, they reacted the same way. They says, oh my God, there's a big accident. It was an earthquake. It was a natural disaster. Let's close down all our nuclear power. And electricity in Germany's going way up. Russia's got Germany by the cojones. But see, why would the price of oil be going down? Like I said, this is temporary. I pointed to the fact that CEO from Continental Shale Oil Group Resources, whatever the hell it was, he basically cashed in his entire short position on all the oil prices going down. He said, to hell with it. I'm going to participate and it go up. And he says, I'm going to take the money on this deal right now. And I'm going to participate. I don't think it's going to last. And I think he's right, because now I'm looking at other angles. It's not just the nuclear option actually is a major factor. Nuclear is actually 16% of the world's electricity, produces the world's electricity. Now, I know the accident happened in Fukushima, but overall, nuclear actually is a lot safer than other forms of electricity, believe it or not. It actually is. Now, the thing is, we just don't have enough oil and coal and natural gas to replace these nuclear facilities with. So, old girl here standing in front of the nuclear power plant, she doesn't seem to care. Anyway, that's just how it is, man. I don't want to make light of this, but the thing is, there really is no option. There's no option. And, the fact that Japan and Germany closed down all these nuclear plants tells me that there's actually a big major demand for oil and natural gas and coal, and they can't keep up with the demand, even though the prices are dropping. Now, with the price of uranium, it's kind of weird because the price of uranium actually dropped so much. It's half the production cost, supposedly. There used to be 500 uranium companies in the world at the height of the big peak when everything was going strong before the accidents and stuff. And now there's approximately about 15. So it's another area that is screaming that energy is going to get a hell of a lot more expensive. I'm looking at other angles here, not just oil, natural gas, and, coal. And solar's not coming on strong enough, and neither is wind power, because you see what happened to T. Boone Pickens. He lost his ass on that freaking windmill bullshit. I mean, come on, man. Those things were big bucks coming from General Electric, whatever he paid for those damn things. And they still, they still have to be maintained. They're not, like, totally free. You put them up there, you got to have maintenance, and bearings wear out, and all this other bullshit. So, in other words, since, and you're looking at economies and how much electricity major economies will use up. Germany and Japan, when they abandoned nuclear, that made sure that there was a major impact on the demand for liquefied natural gas, coal, oil, and natural gas. And it makes no sense that the freaking markets are going down in those products. And like I said, that is really the key to gold and silver going up. When we have an energy crunch, it's going to happen. Now in France, things are looking a little bit different from, the rest of the world. French got their they got their act together. They know what's going on. I know some people in America don't like France. I think France is okay. I mean, you got the Tour de France, you got bicycles, you got style, you got architecture, you got a cool language. There's nothing wrong with France as far as I could tell. But, as far as, politics, I guess some people don't like France, United States. But I'm going to tell you, they got their act together as far as having 75% of their electricity coming from nuclear. The Russians can shut off the freaking, and of the rest of the electricity, a lot of it's coming from Libya. So they ain't got to worry about a damn thing from Vladimir Putin. They know what the hell's going on. So they'll survive a long time. Don't let them fool you, man. Sometimes people play stupid, and they're not stupid. They're smart as a whip, and they got the shrewdness. That's really the game with being shrewd. The dumber you play, the more plain you talk, the dumber you act, keeps them off guard. But you remember that TV show with the detective Columbo? Got to talk plain, talk simple, act stupid, act like you're poor, and you got your brains going. The way the women play sometimes is, with the dumb blonde, and maybe they could have an IQ of 150 and above, and you'll never know it in a million years till they pull out the handful of aces. So that's just how it goes. I'm going to tell you right now that silver does have a very, 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 very bright future, because this energy thing is very much temporary. And now that the Republicans got in, I'm also seeing articles right now about, the war in Iran is basically going to be happening again or something. It's since they hey man, what the hell else is new, right? What else is new? Now you got a Republican House of Representatives and a Senate. The war with Iran is going to be back on again. But, here we got old girl here, just got her, electric motor scooter, enjoying a nice breeze and a nice weather and a pollution-free electric bike. It's not like going to be the end of the world. And if she's got lots of silver in her saddlebag, she's going to make a lot of money. So, anyway, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of angles to this damn thing. I don't think a lot of people in the silver crowd are actually putting out as far as, there's actually an energy crunch. Germany's prices of electricity more than doubled when they shut down their nuclear power plants. Same with Japan, which is crushing their economy. Japan is actually going to be opening up all their nuclear power plants. Problem is they ain't got uranium. There's not enough uranium around. But that don't matter, because that's part of the... Well, it's almost like what I always said with palladium, too. The palladium price can go way the hell up. And, it might be a few $100 more on a car, but it ain't going to really matter, because the car don't even use an ounce. But you got 65% of the world's supply of palladium is used in automotive. It can actually go way the hell up, So the price of silver can go up through the roof, because it's not going to put that much of a dent on the economies anyway. What actually could freaking put a dent on the economies is energy prices. And that's going to be far more critical to bring those prices down than the silver prices. The only thing is with silver, when it goes up, and this is where these yo-yos shoot themselves in the foot, because what happens is they'll be screaming that the dollar is crashing because silver's going up, but they don't scream that the dollar is crashing because something else is going up in price. I mean, look at the price of beef, you know. But whenever they scream about the dollar's crashing, they're telling the Federal Reserve Board and all the freaking people on the top that have an interest in protecting the dollar, in other words, in the public's eye, they actually will fight back and bring down the price of silver just for that reason, if it's going to make a psychological impact on the value of the dollar in people's minds. That's why these people in the silver community that keep screaming about, look at the dollar, it's going. This is the canary in the coal mine. Look at the gold price. You got to just keep their mouth shut and just say, hey, it's going up. That's great. We're making a bunch of money. The way I would play it, but I can't tell these yo-yos what to do. And then the Federal Reserve would say, oh, well, that don't mean nothing. You know, people think that's good. They think it's, you know, in other words, if you played it from this angle, well, silver and gold prices are going up. That means people have more money in their pocket, so it's good for the economy. That's how I play it. But, you know, I'm not in charge of this silver stuff. You know, if I was in charge of these silver tards, I'd be telling them that's the line I want you guys to freaking say, not about the dollars falling apart, because then the Federal Reserve, or whoever the hell is pulling the mechanisms on all these price levers, they'll drive it up to help stimulate the economy, right? Just like you're driving down the price of oil, puts money in your pocket. You drive up the freaking price of silver, puts money in our pocket. But it's going to actually happen at the same time. Now, actually, in the U.S., you know, the really smart thing to do with nuclear would be to go not to uranium, but thorium. They could do that. It's safe. It's abundant. You know, it's not anything. You can't have a nuclear accident or radiation with thorium reactors. It's plentiful all over the place. The U.S. has got a lot of it. Australia's got a lot of thorium. But they don't do it. You know why? Because it doesn't produce the plutonium which is needed for freaking nuclear weapons. That's why they don't do it. But there is a lot of cheap alternative energies out there, and that could be a subject and go on for 2 hours. But just let me tell you that there is actually a shortage in oil, and just because now if everybody was like France, there wouldn't be a problem, right? But everybody isn't like France. Actually, Japan was on the right track, and the New World Order set off a nuclear. I think they created this freaking tsunami, to tell you the truth. Japan's independent, strong, proud, and that's a problem for the New World Order. I like Japan, I like Japan. I think they're all right. But that's what I think this was a setup, and it caused them to abandon all this nuclear power. It caused Germany to abandon it. And right now, the reality is, even though oil prices are going down, it's not because there's a glut in the market. It's one of two things. And the Saudis, if they're trying to play this game with the U.S., they're going to lose. If they're trying to drive U.S. companies out of business, they're going to lose. And actually, what's probably going to happen is, since the Republicans got in, they're probably going to do the war in the Middle East. They'll have the Saudis and Iranians blow each other up. There won't be any oil, and the U.S. companies will make loads of money. And you'll see your price of silver go way up. But like I said, I wish I could tell these silver tards to keep their mouths shut about the dollar's crashing. The hell with that part, man. Just let the silver, the gold, and the platinum and the palladium go up. And that means we got more money to spend, and that stimulates the economy. So Ben Bernanke and what's her face over there, Janet Yellen, Mary Poppins, do your thing, get the stuff going, and we love you. And we love the U.S. dollar, and we want lots more of them. So, anyway, and peace on earth, goodwill, and all to everybody, and the end, okay? So, anyway, just in thinking outside the box, stay chill, and stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you a lot of this stuff. This garbage doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have to make sense for the markets to go up or down. And it could be not making sense going up. But that means it's stimulating the economy, because that means we got a lot more money to spend. So, hurrah, hoorah. Anyway, over that.